What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Femi.
Yes, sir. It's your boy Nick.
And you're locked and loaded with the Uncovered podcast, man. Recorded right here in... You know what? I'm not going to say their name.
You don't need to.
They've been asking us to say the name because they're giving us a free room. But you know what? Nah, man.
But be careful, just in case they listen to this podcast.
Actually, yeah. You know, shout out to them. Like, we do appreciate you guys giving this podcast studio, for sure.
Thank you. It's really helping a lot.
It honestly is.
Yes, sir.
It honestly is. But yeah, like, yeah.
Cool. Well, look, talk to the people, man. Like, what are we actually talking about today?
Look, bro. Look, I think it's a very timely conversation because I've recently been trying to practice and detox off social media.
Yeah.
And I think that I've got a lot of learnings from it. And I've tried this 1,000,001 times, but I think it's interesting this time that I've done it. Anyway, long story short, if you haven't guessed it by now, we're talking about social media.
Yes,
and obviously its benefits and also its drawbacks. So just to be able to, for you guys to make it a really objective decision, because I guess like the first thing I will say from this straight away is that like, I'm not here to tell you social media is bad, nor am I here to say that it's good. I don't really care what you do with your social media, whether you decide to be on it or not. It doesn't really matter. It's more just giving a different perspective in terms of like what are the impacts that social media has on your mental health, whether good or bad. Giving you maybe just helping you make the most educated decisions as to what you do, and you know, make you a bit more informed.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, like I hear this conversation all the time where people are talking about, social media is so detrimental. But for me, like my kind of, subjective viewpoint on it is that I feel like social media, like I think it's a highly beneficial platform that's even given us the opportunity to actually be able to speak and share this message with the podcast. So when we can understand the beauties and what it's done for us, I'm a big advocate for it. I really love social media.
Yeah, but of course, just because something being powerful also makes it dangerous oftentimes.
Of course.
So it's kind of like,
and we're going to touch on that for sure.
A big tub of water is really good for you, but it can also obviously drown you and kill you.
It can.
So it's also important to be able to understand its dangers as well.
Yeah, but that's just my stance.
Yeah, so why do you find it so valuable then? Like, because you're Mr. Social Media. You have the Facebook and Instagram logo tatted on your back, right?
On my back, I do just yesterday.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah, well, look, for me, I think that social media is highly beneficial because, as I said at the start, it's given us now an opportunity to be able to actually do this business, right? Like this business is highly based off social media. It's highly based off all the information, a lot of things that I gather and learn on a daily basis is off social media. Yeah. So just being able to have that access, that ability to be able to connect with people that I never thought in my imagination that I would. We think about this pandemic with that. Oh, well, that's technology, but like even still being able to connect, see what people are doing on Facebook in a very easy way. I think that's all due to the powers of social media. So that's why I like it. I like the benefits. I can obviously appreciate the dangers of it. So I still do set limitations, but that's why I think it's a highly powerful platform.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to dispute its power. I think it's like in terms of
its benefits, I should say.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's a highly beneficial platform as well, but I also do think it's highly dangerous at the same time. I think it's kind of just like medicine, medicine can kill you or save your life. It just depends on how you use it.
Exactly.
And I think that the big thing that I really love about social media and one of the reasons why it's been so difficult for me to not be on it as much is because I primarily use it for connection. Right? I primarily use it to be able to contact, because it's like most of your friends these days, most of the people most of the friends that you have, you don't really have their number, right? Yeah, you only have like your close friends.
Yeah, it's crazy. Back in the days, you used to remember people's numbers.
I used to know everybody's number, 967888449. What?
It's actually, I needed to know it because you don't even know.
Whose number that is?
I think that's probably someone's number.
Get crazy.
That you just put out there. So
it's crazy.
No lawsuits. We didn't know.
We didn't know. I'm pretty sure I added too many numbers in that anyway.
Exactly. But you know what's crazy? Because we had to remember those numbers back in the days when we would have gone, 100, mom and dad, oh my God, put this number through. Because how was he going to do it?
Whatever, mom and dad, I'm in the big station. Come pick up a big station. It's actually so funny though. But like in real life, I guess like back in the day, it was very different for us, right? And the younger people listening to this probably never had that situation, but
no, they haven't. But isn't that so crazy? Like we're getting older. There's another generation of people like, what are you guys talking about?
What the hell is 1-800 mom and dad? What the hell is 1-800 reverse? Like what actually is that? You don't know the struggle. You don't know the struggle of being stuck at a party in whatever area.
In Doonside or something.
In Doonside, you have no way of getting home. We've got our boy LB here. That's it, and he can testify to these stories of being stuck. Right? And all you've got is a payphone.
No, being stuck. No, Liam, tell him. No.
Well, which one are we talking about? When you had like your phone, you had no credit, or like all you had is a payphone?
When you had no credit.
Oh yeah,
I had a payphone. Why? Did you have a payphone story?
But no, have you never called? You never called somebody of 1-800
I did
reserve
on a payphone. Yeah. But not that much. Like it was mainly.
No, it was maybe on the mobile. You don't have credit. Yeah, 100%.
That was probably like my previous go-to. I didn't really go to the payphones as much. It was a bit of a sticky one still.
Yeah. I used to use payphones still as well.
This is a
crazy
still.
But anyway, long story short, we digress. But it was a mazza. It was a madness for us, right? And I think that like now, the main source of communication and the easiest source, I can call you for free anywhere in the world that you are. I can call you right now if I wanted to. Is just on Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. So like it's just so crazy, right? And it's just like if I want to talk to somebody, if something as simple as like about work, you know what I mean? Like let's say someone's like, oh, I don't have their contact. How do I do it? It's like I'm just gonna find them on Instagram and hit them up. And then when you get on the Instagram, you end up scrolling. Go on the explore page. It's a mazza.
It becomes a bit of a mazza.
Hey, if you go to the explore page like mine,
my explore page is healthy, bro.
That's so cap. I've been on your explore page.
Don't lie, it's actually healthy.
No, it's healthy, but it'll put you on a wormhole.
It can put you in a wormhole, but it's healthy.
I mean, look. So you're yeah. I know you're joking. Yeah. You're a big advocate for mental health. I mean, for social media. I want you to be like, what has social media really done? We're specifically talking about mental health. We're not talking about, your business and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, we get it. You make money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have a program that's excellent that you can be found on rechargewellness.com.au when you click get started and it's $32 a week. I get it. We get it. Yeah. And you have so many clients. It's such a big array of people that support you. We get it. Yeah. So, but in all seriousness though, what tools have you learned and what have you benefit from on social media that you feel you couldn't have gone anywhere else? Maybe not as accessibly, not as easily, but it's like, what's your story?
Yeah. Well, I guess the first thing is that in terms of being a massive advocate for it, I think that I mainly say that in terms of the argument where it's like, are you either for social media or are you part of that community that's like, no, social media is bad, let's get rid of it. I'll be more leaning towards that. Let's keep it. And the reason why is that in particular with my mental health, a lot of the development that I've had with my mental health is a lot of it's been on social media. Like obviously I've gone to uni and stuff. It's a lot more like textbook kind of style study, which is excellent, we need to do. But just kind of daily reminders, daily kind of like gratitude and affirmations, daily knowledge that you never probably would have thought for me to go ahead and research on. It comes off the back of social media, but it all 100%. Comes down to, I guess the biggest thing about it is that social media is like anything, it's an algorithm and it's designed to keep you onto the platform. So it all comes down to what it is that you actually want to see, because that's what it's going to promote primarily. So if I've got like,
it's so crazy because it's like you blame social media, but you're the one that's been double tapping booty pics. That's why Instagram's sending you these things, bro.
Exactly. So for me, like obviously I've had to do a little bit of work though still. Like obviously,
but let's say people that aren't actually, it's not like they're not good. They're like, because a lot of people are like, you know what I mean? Like usually people are like, you're not on social media, like you're not getting off social media, because of like, oh my God, there's just too many booty pics. Like that's just, most of the time it's not that. It's more so, I get stuck in wormholes. So it's like, talk more about like, how do you kind of adjust it to be something that is not going to get you stuck in a wormhole? Because the only way that something that's not going to get you stuck in a wormhole is going to be something that you don't find that interesting.
Yeah, that's a good question. And it's interesting. I don't know, like it's hard for me to give an answer on it because like right now, the way that I use, like if you know me and you see me go on a phone, I don't go slowly on my Instagram feed. I'm so quick. So I'm probably the best person to ask, because for me, I'm able to be like, okay, I'm off it. I'm very off it because I'm that type of person. Like I think my mind's just going so quick. That's like, I'm going there to find something. If there's something that I want that's interesting, I'll stop. Once I've done it, I'll turn it off. I don't get stuck in a wormhole of like, actually laughing at stuff. I don't do that. That's not how I operate the platform. So that's why.
For me, when I was on Instagram, because my whole algorithm, my whole stories, my whole everything that I do is just ha.
Exactly.
Like it's just so funny to me.
You go, stop back, you read it, you watch the caption, you try to get the context, and then you move on. I'm not like that. If I don't get it, because
every single post that anything that gets shown on my stuff is just such funny stuff. Like I very rarely see my friend's stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's only like really close people that I'll see your shit. But like everything on my algorithm is so funny. And if you know me, I love to laugh, bro.
Yeah.
So I can be on that thing just ha-haing for the next 35 minutes.
Exactly.
So I think it's crazy in terms of like just understanding what is actually your vice and your thing. But
it's interesting, like you were saying, like the platform gives you good feedback, whether you know it or not, about your habits and what it is that you like. It tells you a lot about yourself. The whole platform is designed off psychology and trying to understand you a bit more. So it's interesting when you see what's coming on your face. Like, oh, why am I getting stuck? Social media, But like,
to be honest, it's not my, like, if I let's pretend I'm a very, like, I don't have as much insight and self-awareness. It's not my fault that I'm getting stuck. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just liking to laugh.
Definitely not. Absolutely.
And what's happening is that, like, they're taking advantage of the fact that I like to laugh
100%.
and keeping me on there, and it's becoming destructive because
that's destruction. Yeah.
That because obviously the dangers isn't like, oh my god, it's, I think the best case scenario of the destructive nature of Instagram is you're spending too much time on it and you're being unproductive, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that become dangerous about social media because it's not just, okay, let's say pretending you don't just see ha stuff, you only see your friends. Yeah. And then when you start seeing your friends, you start comparing your life to your friends. You start being triggered by this one person that did this one thing. Yeah. And then whatever you then have that connection, you then double tap, and then it starts into a wormhole where people start abusing you.
Exactly.
You start getting into like this, you start getting anxious about, oh, well, why wasn't I invited? I know him. Exactly. I know them. Why didn't I go to that? You know what I mean?
And it's big ones.
Because that's the real shit, not, I'm not being productive.
Yeah.
It's like there's real people out there that are on social media and they're defining their life and the course of their life because of the 6, 10, 15 people that they see every day and thinking that that's how I need to live my life. They're in my same industry. They're my same age. They're not doing anything different. Why is that Nobu and why am I eating at Outback Steakhouse?
Oh, it makes perfect sense.
To be honest, Outback Steakhouse is expensive, though.
It's expensive.
They really do be ripping you off.
Nah, they do. They do. Nah,
actually, sponsor this episode. I take it all back.
We're really desperate here. That's crazy. Actually, no, sponsor me. I just talk smack for a second, but no, sponsor me. It's crazy. So then, like, obviously, then, like, look, I understand and I can appreciate the benefits, like the helpful tools, the ability to be able to connect, the resources that you gain access to from like world-leading experts. It's amazing. But primarily for our mental health, there's a lot of destructive dangers that it can have for us. So let's probably explore that a little bit more. Like, what do you feel are some of the dangers with mental health, with social media on your mental health?
Yeah, like I said, I think it's like the big thing is the comparison.
Yeah.
The triggers. And sometimes a lot of the times, the reason why it's dangerous because people don't actually recognize what their triggers are. But they'll be getting triggered a million times on social media because it's such a barrage of information, such a barrage of so much stuff coming at you that you don't have the opportunity to slow it down. In your world, the real world is a lot slower than the world of social media.
Yeah.
So when you're on social media and you've got anxiety, you get overwhelmed, you get triggered, and you don't have enough awareness of to what your triggers actually are, it's very problematic, right? It's very problematic. You can see anything on it and you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
You cannot unsee it.
Yeah.
So it becomes very dangerous in terms of like if you're going through some stuff and you don't know what's triggering you, you can get very, very easily overwhelmed and start going to a spiral. But I think that this thing about dangers, because I think the benefits are great, but I really want us to be aware of what the dangers are as well and go into a bit more detail and unpack that a little bit more. But, I think that we'll go on a quick little break and then we'll jump back into it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so obviously, social media is obviously dangerous, right?
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to be I don't want to sound like your mom or your dad. I genuinely mean this. I don't mean this rudely. I do not care what you do because like social media is powerful and it can be good, but it can also be bad. You've got to make that decision yourself. You know?
Exactly.
Hopefully, if you're listening to this, you're an adult, and if you're a child, hey, ask your mom.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And like you were saying, like on that note, we'll dissect this a little bit more and speak about like what are the actual dangers in specifics, like the bullying, the validation, the comparison.
Well, yeah, but even more potently, being able to manage it, whether you decide to go on it or you don't decide to go on it. What are some management skills? I think is probably the most effective because I think whether it's dangerous or it's helpful, either one is you can make that decision for yourself.
Yeah.
And it's just more about being aware, but it's more the awareness is going to come from effective management and control of it because you'll be able to see the difference of it in your life and out of your life and see what you want to do.
Exactly.
So I guess like what are some key ways that you said that you set a lot of limits around it. Obviously, my limit was I tried setting the timers on the actual app.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried all this different stuff, and for me, the easiest way was just to delete the app on my phone. I still have Instagram, but I just deleted the apps on my phone. I'm not really on Facebook, and I'm not really on Messenger, so I don't really care about those type of stuff. But Instagram was the one that I'll just get caught on. I don't have Twitter because I live in Australia.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Nah,
Look,
I hear that.
anyone that has Twitter in Australia is just weird, bro.
Yeah, that's what
I don't get it. Like, what are you talking to?
Anyways, now we'll go into it. So yeah, I think that like obviously deleting the apps, setting those limits and stuff, they're all helpful tools, and I'd still encourage you to kind of look at doing that. But I think that for me, and what I truly believe in is that I think you got to get down to the root of it, which is, okay, well, what are you going on social media for? As in, like, what are your habits and behaviors that draw you to social media for such a long time? Because I think that sometimes, like, for me anyway, again, everyone has their own kind of needs, reasons why. But for me, I do it because I'm bored. Like, when I know that I'm not doing anything and I'm bored, I go on social media to occupy time. And then from that, I get this little sense of like urge to always just check it. I might have done something on social media. So now I'm just struck by waiting for a notification and buzz. I'm constantly anxious, waiting for something to happen. And I think for me, when you get into the root of, okay, why do I actually do it? Then you're able to then make adjustments off it. So for me, it's like I do it when I'm bored. So then now I set up a bit of a calendar and a schedule about like some of the things that I want to do outside social media. I put my phone away so I don't have that temptation when I'm on it. So it's like, okay, cool, I'm at home now. I've just finished a long day at work. Maybe go play some games. Maybe let me go read a book. Maybe go learn a hobby. Let me go to the gym, pick up all these type of things. They distract me, but they don't serve purely as distractions because they're actually my interest in what I want to do. But sometimes I feel social media is dangerous because it stops you from doing all those things that you truly want to do. So for me, that's kind of how I set that limit. Because when you delete the app, sometimes when you start deleting the app, you set limits and stuff. They make it so easy for you to re-download it. It makes it so easy to break the timer. And it comes down to a certain degree of discipline to be able to stop it officially whilst you have the app or you don't have the app.
Yeah, that setting timer thing does not work. It literally just reminds you that you've been on it for a while. It doesn't actually stop you from doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Just press okay, bro. Thanks for letting me know.
Okay, thanks, bro. Ignore for today. Okay.
Exactly. That's why I think it comes down to like all these things are helpful. So I'm not saying like they're all terrible, but like getting down to the root, what's going to allow you to make it sustainable for a long time. And then you can even have the app and not feel tempted to go in the app and all those things.
Yeah, and I think that you're right. I think that it is definitely kind of having an understanding of, well, what am I looking for? Like when I'm going on that, what am I actually looking for? Because for me, I know that I'm primarily get stuck on it because of the ha-has, but you're right. I don't go on it for the ha-has. You know, I go on it, maybe it might be to connect with people. It might be to, you know, talk a little bit of smack. It might be to see what's happening, not have that feeling of missing out. Yeah. And then I get stuck in with the other shit. Right?
Exactly.
So I think it's really just about really being clear as to, well, what am I looking for? What are my insecurities that this is itching? Is it the you know, the need to feel a part of something? Is it the need to not want to be alone with your thoughts? Is it the fact that like I can't be silent and settled and calm for a second, that I need to be doing something and constantly hearing back from somebody?
Exactly. Those are bigger challenges. It's like any addiction,
Exactly.
right? It's always been fueled by something else. Like,
it's
like
not
pornography or anything. It's like you're not just doing that for the sake of like, pornography.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Oh yeah. You're not just doing it for the sake of like, it's like there's something deeper in it that's actually fueling the behavior, and that's what it is that we need to work towards.
Yeah.
Not the act of like, let me just stop watching porn now for a week or 2 weeks, or let me just get off Instagram for a week or 2 weeks. Like, why do I even feel the need to go on this anyway? Why do I feel the need to do this, and then work towards that?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that it's really important that you said that word. You have to be able to recognize whether you are addicted, but there obviously is a difference between a habit and an addiction. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just understanding, well, like, why are you doing this? And if it's something that is really, really deeper than what's going on, then we need to address it. And I think for me personally, like me and you are in different points in our, you know, our relationship with social media. Yeah. For me, I think that it's just a massive distraction that was acting as a crutch for me with what I was saying earlier in terms of like not wanting, like maybe I was just like bored or not wanting to talk or not wanting to you know, because usually I would be on it, you know, at night because I get home at like, let's say 9 o'clock and I'll go to bed at 10. In that hour time, I would just be on social media or whatever. And just like, instead of like actually thinking that I can use time usefully, I'll just use that as an easy kind of like way out from doing that. And that could be even be something as like not even realizing that could be self-sabotaging.
Literally, it's so funny that you say it that way, because it's like sometimes, especially just thinking about the actual journey of that day, it's like I come in from a long day, I've come home at 9, I'm going to go to bed at 10. The way I try to actually use that last hour of my life is just on social media.
Exactly.
As opposed to like saying hi to my friends, seeing my family.
Going like, calling a friend, be like, yo, what's happening, bro?
Yeah.
Or like, like going to hug my mom. You know what I mean? Like just chilling with your, chilling with your people.
We say that social media is relaxing. Yeah, exactly. Like we say that social media is relaxing. It's like, oh, I'm just going to chill. I'm on my phone on social media, but it's actually not relaxing. It's actually very stimulating for your mind.
Oh, extremely.
So much information that you're processing.
Yeah,
you don't even know.
Exactly. And I think that since I've actually gotten rid of the app, it's been a real game changer for me in terms of like, I love to read. I really, really enjoy to read. But I was going through a rut where I just wasn't reading. I just felt like my brain was dying, but that's a whole nother podcast episode. But anyway, and now that I'm not on it as much, it's just been really, really good to slow down. But like I said to you guys, long story short, hey, do what you want. As long as now you understand and you can answer that question as to why, because I can't tell you to go on social media or not to go on social media. Just know why you're on it. And if it's for a toxic reason, maybe evaluate that. If you want to not be on it anymore, cool, don't be on it anymore. If you've realized that I just do it just cause, I just have no problem with it. It's just something that I do to send photos, or I'm doing it for business, or I'm doing it for whatever reason that you're happy with. As long as you're happy with it and you know the reason why you're doing it, God bless you.
That's it.
But that is another episode of the Uncovered podcast.
Yeah, yes, look, we'll probably delve into this a lot more, because there's a lot that we can beat out of this social media topic, like when we talk about obviously like validation, insecurities, behaviors, and we're gonna definitely delve into that. But I think this is more kind of just like a quick overview over social media, what your thoughts are with social media, and how we can actually set limits around it if it is an addiction or whatever it is that you perceive it to be.
That's it. And again, when it comes to social media, not an expert. It's just my opinion.
That's it.
So again, have a great day. I hope this was informative to you and it gave you some kind of perspective shift. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace and love.